Stand by. Oh, what's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. I've been booking a lot of weddings and birthday parties. Oh, and proms. Yeah, school dances coming up real soon. I need some more corporate events. Yeah, I like to have a well-balanced diet of different kinds of events to DJ at. You know, wherever you need some music, please, if you would, do me the honor of calling on me, DJLittleRock.com, and make your next thing a big one. This week's shows on Friday night, I have my one public show in Conway, Arkansas, at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. Friday nights at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Full bar, kitchen. They got some good food there. They always send me home with some wings. Delicious wings. Don't eat up all my wings. They got good burgers and pizzas too. Yeah, and other kinds of food as well. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights too. If you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, you can head over to the Rab Friday nights, 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. That's when the karaoke is. I think they start the pool tournament a little bit earlier, maybe around 7:30. So, yeah, get there early. Get there often. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Putin sends troops into breakaway Ukraine regions. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday ordered Russian troops into 2 territories in eastern Ukraine that are controlled by Russian-backed separatists after recognizing their independence. President Biden responded by signing an executive order Monday blocking trade and investment by Americans in the 2 separatist enclaves. The U.S. is expected to announce new sanctions against Russia on Tuesday. The White House said Putin's action, quote, refutes Russia's claimed commitment to diplomacy and undermines Ukraine's sovereignty, end quote. The U.S. and its allies expressed concerns that Russia might use skirmishes in the Donetsk and Luhansk separatist regions as a pretext for broader invasion. The U.S. says Putin's moves violate a 2015 peace agreement aiming to return the 2 regions to Ukrainian control. This is according to the Washington Post and the New York Times. Number 2, Trump's Truth Social platform launches. Former President Donald Trump's long-rumored social media platform, Truth Social, made its debut in Apple's App Store on Monday and promptly became its top social media networking app. But the launch was marred by widespread glitches and thousands-long waiting list to join. Many hopeful users received error messages upon signing up or never received a verification email to approve their accounts. Trump developed plans to launch the service after Twitter, Facebook, and other social media platforms banned him following the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack, accusing then-president of violating policies against inciting violence by urging supporters to fight to overturn his election loss. This is according to Forbes. Number 3, Boris Johnson announces lifting of coronavirus restrictions in England. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson confirmed on Monday that England will end its coronavirus restrictions, making it the first major Western economy to take the step as the surge driven by the Omicron variant eases. Starting Thursday, infected people will no longer be legally required to self-isolate, although the government still urges them to stay home, Johnson said in the House of Commons as he unveiled his, quote, living with COVID, end quote, plan. The country will also stop free and universal coronavirus testing on April 1st. Quote, restrictions pose a heavy toll on our economy, our society, our mental well-being, end quote, Johnson said. Quote, we do not need to pay that cost any longer, end quote. This is according to Bloomberg. Number 4, Arbory hate crime trial goes to jury. The federal hate crime trial of the 3 white men convicted of murdering black jogger Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia went to the jury on Monday after prosecutors and defense lawyers delivered their closing arguments. Justice Department Civil Rights Division counsel Christopher Paris told jurors the only thing defendants Travis McMichael, his father Gregory McMichael, and their neighbor William Roddy Bryan knew when they chased down Arbory in February 2020 was that he, quote, was a black man running down a public street, end quote. Paris said racial slurs the defendants used in text and social media posts showed they were motivated by racism. Defense lawyers said race wasn't a factor, and the men thought Arbory had been behind recent thefts in their neighborhood. This is according to CNN. Number 5, Colombian court decriminalizes abortion for up to 24 weeks. Colombia's constitutional court on Monday decriminalized abortion up to 24 weeks into a pregnancy in a ruling that marked a major shift for the majority Catholic South American nation. Colombia followed Mexico and Argentina to become the third big country in Latin America to decriminalize the procedure, all in the past 14 months. Abortion rights advocates are seeking to capitalize on the momentum to push for loosening abortion laws elsewhere in the region. Crowds of abortion rights supporters celebrated outside the court in Bogota, Colombia's capital, shouting, quote, abortion in Colombia is legal, end quote. Since 2006, Colombia has permitted abortion cases of rape, in cases of rape, non-viable pregnancies, and when the mother's health is in danger. This is according to the Washington Post and the New York Times. Number 6, Trudeau calls for healing and continued emergency powers after trucker protest. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Monday that it is time for healing after police cleared out Freedom Convoy anti-vaccine mandate protesters who had paralyzed downtown Ottawa for more than 3 weeks. Quote, more than ever, now is the time to work together. It's also the time to reflect on the kind of future we want for our country, end quote, Trudeau said. Police arrested 191 people and towed 79 trucks and other vehicles over the weekend before the protest was declared over on Sunday. Trudeau cleared the way for the crackdown by invoking emergency powers, and his government won a vote in the House of Commons on Monday to extend the emergency authority for up to 3 more weeks. Quote, the state of emergency is not over, end quote, Trudeau said. This is according to National Post and Politico. Number 7, studies indicate COVID-19 booster could provide years of protection. A range of new studies suggest that a COVID-19 booster shot may provide protection against future variants for many months, even years, the New York Times reports. A recent study posted on BioRxiv, BioRxiv, for instance, suggests that a third Pfizer-BioNTech or Moderna shot helps to produce antibodies that could be effective against yet unseen mutations, even though the vaccines were, quote, not specifically designed to protect against variants, end quote. Quote, if people are exposed to another variant like Omicron, they now got some extra ammunition to fight it, end quote, Dr. Julie McElrath, a Seattle infectious disease physician, told the Times. This is according to the New York Times. Number 8, study. Stand your ground laws tied to 11% homicide increase. Stand your ground laws are linked to an 11% increase in monthly firearm homicide rates, according to a study published Monday in JAMA Network Open, a peer-reviewed medical journal. The data suggests that these laws, which allow people to respond with deadly force instead of retreating from an attacker, might have resulted in hundreds of additional homicides nationally every year. The controversial laws have become a focus of debate over addressing gun violence in the wake of the fatal shooting of black teenager Trayvon Martin in 2012. Proponents say these laws deter violence, but the evidence shows, quote, the opposite effect, end quote, said University of Oxford Associate Professor David Humphreys, one of the paper's authors. This is according to the Washington Post. Number 9, Melina Spirit stripped of 2021 Kentucky Derby title. The Kentucky Derby on Monday invalidated Melina Spirit's 2021 victory after months of litigation and laboratory tests due to the horse's race day drug test, which showed the presence of the brand drug betamethasone. Lawyers for Melina Spirit's Hall of Fame trainer, Bob Baffert, argued that Melina Spirit had absorbed the corticosteroid through an ointment and that the ban only applied to an injectable betamethasone. But many horse racing experts had considered the disqualification inevitable because Kentucky racing regulations don't allow any detectable trace of the drug on race day. The officials made the decision after a February 14th hearing. In addition to disqualifying the colt, now deceased, the authorities suspended Baffert for 90 days and fined him $7,500, barring further developments in the case. Runner-up Mandaloun will be declared the race's winner. This is according to USA Today. Number 10, global health pioneer Dr. Paul Farmer dies at 62. Renowned infectious disease specialist Dr. Paul Farmer, who devoted his life to making healthcare accessible to millions of people on 4 continents, died unexpectedly Monday in Rwanda. His nonprofit organization, Partners in Health, confirmed he was 62. Farmer died of a sudden cardiac event while sleeping in his apartment at a hospital he helped establish, said Sheila Davis, Partners in Health's chief executive officer. Farmer taught at Harvard University and traveled extensively for his work with Partners in Health, its sister organization, Zanmi La Sante, in Haiti. Quote, there are so many people that are alive because of that man, end quote. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, told the New York Times. This is according to the Miami Herald and the Wall Street Journal. That's 10 things you need to know today for Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Thank you so much for sticking with me, hanging out with me on this edition of What Makes You Smarter. Just trying to keep my head filled with knowledge, news of the day. And stay tuned to this feed for more interesting things, or at least things that I find interesting. Maybe we'll learn together. Also, on this feed is my other podcast. If you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. You could find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.